You wrestle for JCW, um, and I know I'm kind of showing my age. I remember when Violent J was wrestling in WCW way back in the day. um,
Yeah.
and the fact that the whole wrestling scene and the music scene, I think they were kind of one of the first to kind of pioneer that, where you're mixing culture with professional wrestling. Uh,
Right, for sure. I
yeah,
agree. Like, it's so cool that not only my bosses are, yeah, my boss is Violent J, but also from them coming from the music world, entering the wrestling world, having their career in the wrestling world, and then developing their own wrestling company. It's just like it's so cool to be a part of it.
absolutely. Now I have to ask you a question. Can you explain to me what a juggalo or a juggalette is? Can you explain to me what that is?
Family.
I can see that. Yeah.
Really good people. Like, are you guys familiar with ICP and the community?
Well, you know I am. I'm
Yep.
definitely am.
So then you explain.
So ICP and the whole Juggalo thing is like she said, it's a family.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of what people thought were degenerates who just found their own way, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? They
Right.
just found their own way. They made their own path, and they created a culture where everyone was like accepted in some kind of way. You didn't have to be some type of cookie cutter looking bodied wrestler. You didn't have to do a
Yeah.
certain style of wrestling. Like you just went in there and just did whatever fit the mold of what the crowd was interested into. You know what I'm saying? It kind of opened up the doors for any and everybody to like wrestling who didn't just watch WWE or WCW or the ones who watch like New Japan. Like this opened up a lot of eyes and avenues for different people to say, you know what, I don't have to wrestle this kind of way. I don't have to look this kind of way. I don't have to wear this kind of wrestling gear. I can go out there and still have fun and still entertain the masses. So that to me is
Yeah.
what the juggalos and the juggalettes and ICP is all about.
For
Like this
sure.
podcast.
Yeah, like this podcast.
My boss, Violent J, I feel like he is, like if you guys know of him, like he has his own Cinderella story. Like we all have our own unique stories, and his is for real one to be inspired by. So for him to have this community with the music, let alone the wrestling, and it really is like a don't judge a book by its cover. And it's really this odd moment if we go back into the spirituality and the goofiness of it. My Cinderella story. I'm really this misfit, this poor creature that's been rejected, and who helped Cinderella, get to the ball. It was all the unlikely creatures. It was the unlikely characters that helped her. Like, and I feel like that's my Juggalo family. It's like, how odd is it that they found me, and now they're getting me ready for the ball. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like they truly are my family and a blessing. And I prayed for this. I prayed so hard to be a part of JCW, and God has answered. I worked, and also mind you, I worked so hard for these moments. When I was at my darkest days with CRPS, it wasn't just not having pain pills and battling this disease. I quite literally couldn't get up and shower. I had to be sponge bathed. I couldn't go and use a toilet, and go to the bathroom. I couldn't even get in a wheelchair and go to the bathroom. I had to use a bedside toilet, and I couldn't clean myself. I couldn't wipe, and my disease was consuming me, and I needed someone to wipe me and bathe me, and to say that I didn't fight so hard to get to this moment would be an understatement. So I really am blessed to be here, and I'm so happy that I'm here, and I'm so excited to see what's next.
there was this term that was used um, that I've never heard before, and so you have taken on this moniker as of late, as the quote unquote ring rat, right? I've never heard this term before, and for everyone who doesn't know what a ring rat is, Roosevelt, can you explain to the best of your knowledge what a ring rat is?
The user term for it is like when a fan or someone of the female origin, most times males too, would always follow behind wrestlers and they would sleep with the wrestlers. So they didn't just stay with one person; they would always just bounce around to different guys. So it was like more like a prostitute without getting paid for it in the wrestling business. What a ring rat was. So you would hear guys like, yeah, we used to pass this one shorty around back and forth. The guys would go to certain towns and, we would go to town on her and we would know that we was getting something every time we came to this particular city or state or whatever. So originally that's what the ring rat terminology came from. Now, Paige herself has elevated that terminology. And so, Paige, tell us what ring rat is for you.
So you're correct and also incorrect. So the history in wrestling, I mean, I've been in wrestling for over 15 years, like I get the business, and I've always heard about the different girls being passed around, the different guys being passed around, the ring rats. Yes, you're 100% correct. But also, especially back in the day, especially during the territory days, ring rats were different women that were in towns that would provide for the men. They would buy them dinners, hotels, or give them a spot at their house. They would provide the drugs, the alcohol. They would make sure wrestlers, because wrestlers were poor travelers and, independent contractors. So these men would provide for wrestlers. But ultimately, what a ring rat in the history of wrestling is, they're ultimate groupies. So as we know in genre of music, and uh, particularly a female fan of a rock star wants to fuck the rock stars and just have sex and desperately sleep with all these different rock stars. So that's the history of what a literal ring rat is, and they're very much real people. And it's just a terminology. It's a derogatory term towards these people, actually. So it's like a slur, and it's slang in wrestling. It's carny, and it's very much real in our culture. And there's very much still ring rats in our culture. But with that being said, this moniker or whatever, I'm not sure what you guys were saying, but it's a character. It is not me. It is not something I'm taking a hold of or anything. No, I'm a part of a TV show called JCW, and the character I have been casted as, the role is, she's a ring rat. So the with JCW and only JCW, that's the character I portray, as a character called the Ring Rat. And it's so fun because I dare say no one's really ever done this before. And I I like that I was casted in this role because I know the history of wrestling. I'm not ignorant to the business. I know what a ring rat is, and I know I don't know. But I do put my own twist to it in a way, because I don't want to say Harley Quinn, but I want see outside of JCW, I portrayed the Black Dahlia, and in the Black Dahlia, she was the first female to, I'm the first female to wield a chainsaw in wrestling, like in 2016, so like I have the Black Dahlia gimmick that I always portrayed, but now I organically, with my CRPS story, with my truth, and with my shoot life, I've organically just taken my shoot name Paige Collet, and that's just kind of like organically who I've become. And now Chainsaw Queen and Black Dahlia are just my nicknames, but I'm just known as Paige. So to be able to step into this role, it's so fresh and so unique. And I do enjoy it. I do enjoy getting to break that barrier, because in the show that I'm in, it's definitely bringing back that Attitude Era esque. It's not necessarily family friendly. If you guys watch the show, I think you know what I'm trying to say.